Logan Hurn. I'm here on the North Platte River. I've guide here about 8 months a year and fish the rivers of the Olympic Peninsula out of Forks, Washington. Some of the stuff we've been doing today is a little bit of Scandinavian spay tactics for swinging some flies for some fish and a little bit of nymphing. Been a great day out here on the river. Some local tips I'd provide for the river here is definitely using heavier leader. A lot of guys come here and decide to use 5X and lose a lot of fish and leave flies in their face. We tend to use 8-pound fluorocarbon, smaller diameter, so you get that suppleness to the flies and the nymphs when they're moving on the drift. We use some heavier rods most of the time just in order to be able to play those fish a little quicker out and get them to the net, just releasing them quicker. 6 weights for nymphs, 7 to 8 if you're running a little heavier grain tip during the summer for the streamers. And then some of our lightweight spay tactics here for, I don't like the word trout spay, but it's great. Great trout spay water here in Wyoming, and we get a lot of fish that love to grab the fly for you on the swing, sometimes strip, but just a nice dead swing is great, sometimes no mend. And right now we're in the midst of the blue wing hatch, so the fish are keen on the baetis, and we've been getting some dry fly action here and there. Today has been pretty steady on the nymphs, a little bit of some streamer action early on, and just going to continue on the day here, see what else brings. Some common mistakes I see by anglers here is leading the fish upriver on the hook set, and by that I mean pulling it away from them. You change the angle of the hook, pulling it away from the fish, and ineffectively hooking the fish sometimes in the top of the mouth and or fouling them. So if you're able to set the hook in a downstream fashion, once you get there, stay there on the downstream shoulder until the very end of the fight when you maybe see the flash or the color and you're trying to actually pinwheel that fish up to the surface to the net. Otherwise though, always fighting the fish in a downstream fashion, holding lower rod leverage gives you better angle on the hook and avoids that big cavitation in the line during the fight that you get when you're bouncing with longer scope, taller up. As you feel those fish search the surface, I like to play it down. Even during the jumps, just like tarpon, much of the time you really need to bow to the fish to avoid that recoil and tension on the hook. And that's just something I see that a lot of people could, if this small subtle difference of where, even if you're late to the hook set and you come uphill and change the rod angle back, you'll still effectively change the angle of the hook and be able to properly land that fish, hopefully not fouling it and landing it safely and releasing it. So, right on.